Stephen Connolly is my name. I'm the Agri Sustainability Manager for ABP, and today we're on the ABP demo farm, which is owned by James and Michael Shepherd, who we've been working with for over 10 years now. It's a typical family farm, and we produce 400 calves each year that are bought through the Gene Ireland programme. Where the partnership with the Gene Ireland programme started was way back over 10 years ago now, back in 2015. Why the collaboration began was very simple. We seen there was dairy expansion, more beef calves are coming from the dairy herd, but it was really important that we get the right calves coming from the dairy herd. At the time, there was no dairy beef index. The selection of beef bulls on the dairy herd was for easy calving, short gestation, and that was having a negative impact on the beef carcass characteristics. So what we wanted was to identify through the Gene Ireland programme what were the very best bulls to cross on the dairy herd that created them win-wins, that were easy calving, short gestation for the dairy farmer, but produced a good beef calf for the beef farmer, and also a suitable product for us as processors and for our customers, which is not easy to find them. So that's where it all came about. So it was a progeny test to identify what are the best bulls available, and then how do we get more farmers to use them bulls. So I think, first of all, anything that's over 10 years in existence is shown that it's working really well. And if we take it from the very start, it was probably very challenging. It was very difficult to get enough bulls into the programme. Whereas now, if you look at it, I think starting off we had 100 dairy farms. There's now over 600 dairy farms. There's over 150,000 doses of semen that's gone out to dairy farmers. And then if you look at the amount of calves born from the programme, there's over 885,000 calves born from bulls progeny tested. So again, that shows it's one of the largest, I would say, in Europe on dairy beef progeny testing. But there's always, we can do more. That's what I say. There's always going to be new traits, and genetics is always evolving. So I think the future is bright. And I think what's a big thing is collaboration. We've dairy farmers involved. We have the trial farm here. We've ICBF, but we've all the leading AI companies, and also pedigree breeders can play an important role. So again, we all need to work together because genetics can play a huge role in improving the overall profitability of a dairy beef system. How the programme works is very simple. We identify with ICBF the dairy farms involved. Semen is distributed out to these dairy farms. At 3 weeks of age, the calves then arrive on the farm. And basically we've been working with these dairy farms for some of them over 10 years, so they're a really important part to give us good healthy calves and good data. When they arrive on farm, then it's all about data collection. So first of all, they're weighed on arrival, and they're weighed every month, all the important stages throughout their life. So roughly 23, 24 weights from every animal. Then we record any health instances on the phone. All that data goes into ICBF to use in their genetic evaluations, which is really important. We also have our green feeds, so every animal gets green feed measurements, which is methane measurements at grass and indoors, to identify is there variation between the different sires. We buy in 400 calves, about 430 calves a year, and we buy roughly 20 calves, half male, half female, from each bull to give a representative sample. And also we buy them from a range of different farms to take that cow type piece, because that's a common question, well, what about the cow? So it gives that balance that you're not maybe negatively impacting one bull versus another. They're treated exactly the same grass, same feed, same everything. So whatever the difference is purely to do with genetics. Then roughly 150 animals go to Tully, which is a really important resource to us, that we measure individual feed intake data for a period of 90 days. And also methane is collected there as well. We're also starting to collect water data, so how much water are the animals drinking, and then to go to a facility in ABP Slaney where we get carcass weight, conformation, carcass value, and we collect that difficult to measure, we'll say back fats, and also we take a steak sample from proportion of the animals to see is there any eating quality differences. So again, it's to get the full cycle, and at the very end, we get a carbon footprint for each individual animal from the beef benchmark report. So lots of difficult data to record, but again can add huge value to the industry, and we always are looking for more data. It's really important.